Right. Oh, all right. Chris Cuomo, you'll have much more on this when your show begins in a little less than an hour from now. Thank you so much. Stay safe there in Tel Aviv.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our News Nation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.
I can't believe it. We just hit 50K. 50K empty, y'all. Let's go. Hey. Hey. Wanda just started my jam. Sitting pretty tight in the top 10 and a half for the casino ranking. They go line up the top notch slot game. That 1,000 cashback limited event live now. Yo, it's the dopest cashback I've ever seen. It's like free money to bet big. And I'm all about going for it. I'm digging the daily coin drop and those spin challenges. Keep things fresh. Wins I've seen straight up life changing.
Here we go. We're going trucking. Tough in Tundra or Tacoma. Get 0% to 72 and no payment until summer. Lease new Tundra for $299 or Tacoma $169. And I'm buying your gas for the first 90 days, and I'm loading a 75-inch TV in the back of each one. And you know where we are. 75 Gamble, MotorRickerson.com.
Good evening. I'm Abby Phillip in New York. As the war with Iran gets messier, so does President Trump's messaging about it. Tonight, in the span of about 3 hours, the president gave wildly different accounts about where the conflict stands right now.
We've already won in many ways, but we haven't won enough. I think you'll see it's going to be a short-term excursion. Short-term. Short-term. We're achieving major strides toward completing our military objectives. And some people could say they're pretty well complete.
On Iran, you called it an excursion. You said it would be over soon. Are you thinking this week it will be over?
No,
talking
but
about
soon.
days?
I think so.
Okay, and with respect
Very soon.
Now, it's not clear what the actual status of the war is, but the president's comments contradict what his own defense secretary said just recently.
What I want your viewers to understand is this is only just the beginning.
Hegseth's Department of War echoed that statement, writing on social media just hours before Trump spoke, "We have only just begun to fight." And if you're keeping track of all the various reasons why the Trump administration decided to go to war with Iran, the president offered up a new justification today.
Iran's a very powerful country. They were going to take over the Middle East. If we did not hit them, they were going to take over the Middle East. They had thousands and thousands since their last hit. They had thousands and thousands of missiles and everything else.
What are the American people supposed to believe, Mark? It's about where the conflict stands right now.
We've already won in many ways, but we haven't won enough. I think you'll see it's going to be a short-term excursion. Short-term. Short-term. We're achieving major strides toward completing our military objectives. And some people could say they're pretty well complete.
on Iran, you called it an excursion. You said it would be over soon. Are you thinking this week it will be over?
No,
talking
but soon.
about days?
I think so.
Okay, and with respect
Very soon.
Now, it's not clear what the actual status of the war is, but the president's comments contradict what his own defense secretary said just recently.
What I want your viewers to understand is this is only just the beginning.
Hegseth's Department of War echoed that statement, writing on social media just hours before Trump spoke, "We have only just begun to fight." And if you're keeping track of all the various reasons why the Trump administration decided to go to war with Iran, the president offered up a new justification today.
Iran's a very powerful country. They were going to take over the Middle East. If we did not hit them, they were going to take over the Middle East. They had thousands and thousands since their last hit. They had thousands and thousands of missiles and everything else.
What are the American people supposed to believe, Mark?
Look, I think the American people should know that for 47 years, Iran's been trying to attack America from Westerners. For 47 years, they've launched attacks on the Marines in Lebanon. They've funded Hezbollah. They've funded Hamas. And so I think they should know the president's committed to trying to demilitarize Iran and take away the offensive capability they have.
But don't they deserve real answers about where this war is right now, where it's headed, how long it may be, what the military objectives are, how close we are to reaching those objectives, any of that?
I think some of the objectives could be clear. I think one thing that would be helpful is if the administration had fewer people speaking on their behalf. I think that would help keep the messaging simpler. But I don't know that there is confusion as to where we are in this offensive, Abby. I think that we've clearly eliminated the Navy for Iran. We've clearly eliminated the Air Force. We've taken away a lot of their offensive capabilities. And so I think there is still a question of, like, what is the long-term mission here? I think there's not a question about what's been happening thus far.
I think Mark is right that this administration has taken incredible military action to eliminate Iran's naval capabilities, air defenses, I mean, you name it. But I think the president is also trying to have it both ways and saying that we've eliminated all of these military capabilities, and yet we have to continue to go on because they pose such a threat. Where, last year in June, you heard this administration take a winning lap saying that we've destroyed and obliterated. So I think you're hearing conflicting messages because no one can also get on the same page and have the same picture of where Iran actually is.
And to that point, I mean, the president said, you heard him saying that Iran was about to take over the Middle East had they not struck. But here's what the rest of his administration has been saying over the last few weeks and over the last year. Listen.
That regime is probably weaker than has ever been.
This president sees the threat plainly and acts decisively. No more half measures, especially when Iran is at its weakest.
This is the weakest they've ever been. Now is the time to go after them.
The reason President Trump went now is because they're at their weakest point.
So look, I mean, I guess the real question is, why not just tell the truth? I mean, if the truth is what Mark said, which is that Iran is a nuisance, we decided to take them out, regardless of the immediate threat that they posed in this moment, why not just say that? And then also tell us what you want to see at the end of the day. Is it a new regime? Is it just that you want to take out their capabilities? I think honesty is the piece that I think is missing.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, Iran, absolutely a threat, right? So the why of Iran isn't, I think, in dispute, at least it's not with me. It's the why now. And I think that the why now matters because there was this kind of improvisation going on. And I feel like we almost kind of stumbled into this by accident. And therefore, the lack of clarity about what we want, it produced that. So, I went to the National War College. I studied war. And it's very clear what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to have ends as the first thing you define. And then you work on ways and means in order to get there. And instead, I think we're focused kind of on ways and means, and we kind of miss the end. But the end is very clear, and it has been very well defined by the Defense Department, and the Navy, and the missile threat player. And we've achieved those things or are very, very close. And that's what the president said today, right? So I kind of sense that if he had just almost stuck with what we were this afternoon, maybe we would be on a different path. But somebody talked to him, and we're in this kind of, oh wait, maybe we're not over yet. And this.
What about the political aspect of it? Because that's the other thing that the president keeps bringing up. He wants to see a more compliant, more pliable regime, and he doesn't seem to be getting that. Let me just play what a senior Iranian official told CNN this week in an interview.
I don't see any room for diplomacy anymore. Iranian military is quite strong, as you see, because they have the motivation, they have the arms that they need, which are produced in Iran. As a matter of fact, we are not dependent on any other country for weapons and arms.
So there's that. There's the fact that Ali Khamenei's son is a hardliner, has been appointed as the new supreme leader. On the political side of things, are we going to then not meet the president's own objectives, which is to have an Iran that he can work with, an Iran that's doing what he wants them to do?
Well, I mean, what does he want them to do? He wants them to not have nuclear weapons. He wants them to not have a ballistic missile program. He wants them to not have an aggressive navy, and he wants them to not be an exporter of terrorism around the world. Now, whatever happens to the next regime, I don't know, but I know this: we will not permit them to do any of those things. The nuclear piece, to me, is the most important.
It's time to have a conversation about electability politics, this ridiculous element of our political.
Oh, somebody asked, what's this? This is a megalodon, a juvenile megalodon shark tooth. It's got to be at least 100,000 or more years old. I just hate it. It has some flaws to it though. It's got a chip in the front, chip on the top.